And welcome back to the fourth quarter of action. As it's set to get underway here, Austin Russell with the ball, teed up, approaches, steps into it. We're underway. Is again a great kick. It's going to be taken in. This is Wade Bartholomew. Tries to spin away from a tackle, but he's going to be taken down right at the 25. So the Hurricane offense, and Coach, we talked about it in the break. What do you do here if you're Coach Figaro? Game seemingly out of reach now, 23-point game with just one quarter to go. Do you try to score quickly to see if you can get yourself back into it, or do you just kind of try and get out of here with your team intact and start getting ready for next week in South Lafourche?
Yeah, it's a long season, Jason, the first game, and the Canes have certainly shown some bright things to work on. They don't have the best of field position right now, so that's a problem for them. But let's see what Coach Figaro is going to dial up here with 11:54 left in the last quarter.
Looks like Brandon Sherman's still in the game at quarterback. Calls for the football. They're going to hand it off up the middle and stopped as Wade Bartholomew. The ball comes out, but the whistles had already blown. Amazingly, the three Cardinal defenders hit the ground. Bartholomew's still on his feet, giving you an example of what kind of athlete he is.
Walloping Wade is hard to bring down. He'll fight you every inch of the way. He's got a lot of pride.
And one thing that will work to the advantage of South Plaquemines as they go throughout the season is that the teams they're going to be facing when they get into their district schedule don't have the numbers that a team like Belle Chasse does. And we talk about that being a huge advantage for the Cardinals. When they're into that district schedule, and we saw this with the Hurricanes last year, they were able to compete and really, I mean, they blew a lot of teams out, some of which we didn't even expect once they got into district play. Because on second down, they try to run the option to no avail as it's going to be covered. No signal yet from any official. The teams are switching sides, so I believe it is going to be Cardinal football. Kind of a strange reaction there as the official never actually made a signal.
Well, that would fall into the category of your worst nightmare with the deficit you're facing and then a turnover, giving the Cardinals excellent field position. And you can see that Devin Silvers just can't wait to put his hands on the ball.
Still back there, right behind Andrew Hicks. Send a man in motion. It's Trey Green. They're going to give it off to Taran Ancolad. Looks for an opening. Dances to the outside, turns the corner, and Taran Ancolad's going to walk into the end zone. So one more time, Cardinals, in a matter of about 4 minutes, have scored a ton of points. And they now lead it 51-22 with another extra point to come. And when you're just running the ball, it's hard to say, you know, it's not really a case of them running up the score. But this game got out of hand in a hurry for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, the Canes presented themselves well tonight, but it appears that they're about ready to turn off the lights here.
Russell gets the kick up, and it's good. So 10:48 to go. There's flags down on the far side, so we'll wait and see. And it looks like Austin Russell might have to give this one another shot. They're going to call a procedure penalty against Belle Chasse, so we'll back him up 5 yards. And, Coach, you talked about quite a change. Austin Russell, perfect on every attempt he's made. Really, the only one he didn't get a chance to was because they fumbled the snap, and even that turned into a 2-point conversion for the Cardinals. So really just kind of everything going Belle Chasse's way tonight.
Yeah, I think that shows the importance of the kicking game and what a weapon that Russell will be throughout the year for the Cardinals.
Now, this would be a good kind of opportunity to see, because a lot of times if it's not an extra point, you don't see him kick it. Not a lot of field goal attempts for the Cardinals. So Russell from 25 yards gets it up, and this time he still puts it through. Looks like it was kind of tailing off to the left there at the end, but he still gets it in. So even after the penalty, 10:48 to go, it's Belle Chasse 52 and South Plaquemines 22. We'll take a break and have more of your Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week after this. And welcome back to the Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week. Austin Russell, he's gonna need some time in the whirlpool tonight. because he's been kicking an awful lot. Sends this one away, and it's going to be taken by Wade Bartholomew at about the 10. Looks for an opening, lowers his head, and he's out to about the 32-yard line, so a nice return there for Bartholomew. And at this point, if you're Coach Figaro, I think the most important thing is to just keep everyone's composure for the next 10 minutes and 40 seconds and try and get them out of here as much as you can with your heads held high after a performance like this, because they did show a lot of bright spots for the first, maybe 2.5 quarters of this game.
Yeah, I think the Canes have a lot to build on. They certainly have a big line, offensively and defensively. They have some good running backs. They've shown they can throw the ball.
And Kendrick Smith completes it to Sean Wilson. And again, look at the number of Cardinal defenders it takes to bring Wilson down as he's out to the 40-yard line. Nice pickup on the play. This will bring up second down, about 2 yards to go for the Hurricanes.
Wilson is just so impressive with his hands.
Let's see, Carl's got a shot of that new Hurricane mascot we see wandering the sidelines. Did have kind of an unceremonious entrance at the start of the game as it fell down, but he's been pumping up the spirits on this Hurricane sideline. Smith throws, completes it, and it's Rojas. He's got the first down. He's out to the 48-yard line.
Really a wonderful catch by Rojas there. Going way up, having no regard for his health, extending, and coming down with the ball. Those types of plays are what you call an excuse for a kidney slam.
And luckily, like you said, good play by Rojas, and then to manage to hold on to the ball, make sure he's got the first down. Spread the field, 4 receivers in the formation. Smith drops back, looks around, can't find anything, so he's going to tuck it away and run with it. Gets a nice block from Rojas, and he's going to be right near another first down. Robert Kennedy looks a little slow to get up for the Cardinals. I think he's okay, just maybe got hit in an unfortunate position.
Kennedy had a wonderful game for Belle Chasse tonight. Really has done a stellar job on his position.
Kendrick Smith throws, and it's caught by Corey Rojas. What a great play as he fought off Casimir Antoine.
Rojas asserting himself as a receiver, a go-to receiver. Taking
Gains
a lot of
about-
pressure off of Sean Wilson.
Gains only about 4 on the play, but that was a very impressive catch for Rojas. As Kendrick Smith gets the play from the sideline. Has Bartholomew in the backfield. Wilson and Martin to the far side. Smith under pressure, and he's going to be taken down by Robert Kennedy. We'll have to see where they mark this as Smith kind of turned around to try to retreat from the pressure and ran with it, so a big loss on the play. And this is going to bring up third down and about 17.
And that was just a 3-man pass rush. Kennedy just pinning his ears back, and he's tough to contend with.
So third and long. Smith under pressure. Casimir Antoine's going to take him down this time all the way back to the Hurricane 40-yard line. So fourth and long, and you'd hate to say 4-down territory because it's fourth and about 30. But I think South Plaquemines is just going to have to punt this one away.
Well, that time the Cardinals brought the outside linebacker, added that 4th man, and he just came free off the side.
And it looks like we're going to have an officials timeout as there's a player for Belle Chasse that's cramping up on the far sideline. It looks like it's Darius Franklin. There's 7:12 showing on the clock in the fourth quarter, so we'll step away while the injured player is being tended to and come back with more of your Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week after this. And welcome back to the Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week. Corey Rojas deep to punt it. And Devin Silv back to return. Ball's on the ground. Rojas picks it up, but he's going to be taken down at the 31-yard line. So the Cardinals again will get great field position. Not that they need it at this point. Clock stopped 6:56 on the exchange. We'll see if we get some replacements and backups coming into the game. It looks like it's still the usual suspects. I can see Hicks and Silv in the huddle on the far sideline.
Well, Jason, that's why they call it a rivalry. I don't think either side's going to show too much mercy on the other one.
Now, showing a little bit of mercy right now are these officials as they started the clock running once everything was ready to play. So we'll see how this goes. Trey Green in the backfield. And Belle Chasse is going to take a timeout. I would think in this situation, just if I was that coach, I would have just taken the penalty. Just, it's hard to say. But he's going to bring everybody back over to the sideline.
Well, it looks like they do have some of the reserves lining up over there, trying to get them squared away. So possibly we might see some fresh faces here. And a mercy attempt by the Cardinals.
So again, 6:31 on the clock. And don't forget, at the conclusion of this game, we will select our Plaquemines Prep Players of the Week. Again, one player from each school will be honored tonight. So we're ready to go. 1st and 10. Quarterback calls for the football, hands it off. Trey Green tries the left side. A lot of the same results as Green gets a first down and then some as he just motors his way down the left side. You can hear in the distance the South Plaquemines band playing a little Rolling Stones Painted Black. So a little hit parade there. Now earlier they were playing Don't Stop Believing, which might be a good motto for these Hurricane players to take tonight, because you don't want to lose the faith in this game. Hicks is calling for the football, and now they'll check to the sidelines. Ready to go. Hicks is going to keep it himself. Dances away from a tackle, but he's going to be taken down at about the 16-yard line. Let me correct, the 11-yard line, I apologize. Gain of about 3 on the play. Kind of an eerie silence in the stands, even for the Belle Chasse side of things. You'd think they'd be a little more spirited. Second and long. And I believe Belle Chasse took a little too much time on that one. They're going to get charged with the delay of game as they maybe checked over to the sideline one time too many there.
Yeah, sometimes you can overcheck, second guess once too many times.
.449 on the clock. The referee trying to get him to run the clock. They've got it stopped right now. Hicks calls for the football. Finally a play. He's going to hand it to Trey Green, who's going to be taken down by a wall of Hurricane defenders, led by Sean Wilson one more time. Getting a little help from Corb DeMall and Darvin Riley.
Well, the Canes are not giving up. I mean, they're putting up a fight here on the short end of a stick.
Third down, long yardage. And again, they check to the sidelines. Not sure where this play was supposed to go as it's eventually handed to Trey Green, who's trying to get to the outside, but he's going to be taken down. This will bring up a fourth down. Maybe an interesting situation here, given the spot of the field. Does Coach Harrison maybe try a field goal just to see what he's got in his kicker? He's proven he's probably got the leg to do it. Or do you run the risk of looking like you're running up the score at this point and maybe just go for it?
I would say, you have just a multitude of options.
Looks like they're just going to go ahead and line up and go for it here. But as we know, the Cardinal offense, it's going to take a second to get this play in.
It appears from the formation that this would be a running play. At worst, a play-action type play. And, of course, you wonder why the officials are stopping the clock here. You want to get this game completed. And these young men have accounted themselves for a major part of the game very well.
They go ahead and start the clock back up. And that'll allow some time to come off before the Cardinals actually have to run this play. Inside of 3 minutes to go in the game. And Belle Chasse appears to be in no immediate hurry to get the play off. They're going to let that play clock tick all the way down. Hand it to Trey Green. And he's going to go around the left side. Not quite good enough. It's going to be a turnover on downs. So South Plaquemines will send their offense back onto the field with just 2:39 to go.
Well, Coach Figueroa's boys haven't quit. It was a good stand on defense. So it looks like that they have the spirit not to give up. And that's another thing you can build on.
So the Hurricanes come out of the formation. Looks like Brandon Sherman will remain in at quarterback. Kendrick Smith splits out in the slot to the far side. Sherman drops back, looks around, throws, and he one-hops it. He's trying to get it to Wade Bartholomew.
Well, that time there was contact made with Wilson coming off the line with the linebacker, and it took away his option. And Sherman was forced to go to the wideout.
And mercifully, the officials are going to go ahead and run the clock here. It had stopped on the incompletion. And South Plaquemines looks like they're going to take their time getting this play off as well. So I think both coaches here kind of conceding the outcome. And then South Plaquemines is going to take a timeout with 1:50 to go. So we'll go ahead and keep it here. And, what a great way, like we talked about, it was a shame this game had to be canceled last year. We were hoping maybe they could just play it at a different site or something, because it would have been cool to see both Coach Figueroa and Coach Harrison, their first games as head coaches, have to play each other. They get a season under their belt. Now, if you watch Prep Rewind, you know that both Cody and I actually picked Belle Chasse to win this game. But we also picked South Plaquemines to have a much more successful season over the course of things. When you look at South Plaquemines, we talk about how much more competitive they will be in their district. But when you look at Belle Chasse and what they have to go through their district, that is probably one of the toughest districts in the entire state of Louisiana. with the likes of Carr and Landry Walker and those teams. Warren Easton and McDonough 35 to boot. So
Yeah, Belle Chasse will not have an easy road from here on out.
quarterback going to be taken down. And it looked like number 68.
And they're getting close to a safety there, so they're going to have to be somewhat careful.
That's 58. Braden Usey on the sack. Yeah, only at about the 3-yard line. So it's 3rd down. Long yardage to go for the Hurricanes. Clock continuing to run as we're inside of the final minute of play. Quarterback, it looks like it's Smith, and it's actually going to go out of the back of the end zone, so that is a safety. And that's going to make the score 54-22. Belle Chasse with the lead, 48 seconds to go. So I think we're just a free kick and maybe a kneel down or two away from the conclusion of this one.
Yeah, and I guess you'd have to say that was a pin or a safety pin. And that's the second one tonight.
So Belle Chasse really kind of scoring every different way they can. They had some receiving touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, defensive touchdowns, safeties, 2-point conversions, 1-point conversions.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Harris will really enjoy meeting with his team tomorrow morning. And the Belle Chasse faithful will have a celebratory ride going back up north. This was an enjoyable victory for the Cardinals. And it was a good game up until the very end. Unfortunately, it's just gotten a little out of hand in the last quarter.
The block, punt, and safety really changed the tone of this game. And even after that, South Plaquemines had a chance. If they'd have gotten the 2-point conversion that they failed on, that game would have been tied at 24. And instead, from that point, Belle Chasse went on a 3-play drive, got a touchdown, and then just kind of started pouring it on after that.
Special teams are such an important factor early in the year.
Zach DeCluitt covers the free kick at the 39-yard line. Clock is stopped while the ball's being placed. And I think they'll just have to run one play with the play clock at 25. Generally, they'll start the clock in a situation like this at the ready for play. Which in this situation they don't. So it'll be 1st and 10, 36 seconds. It might take 2 kneel downs, although this isn't exactly a kneel down formation, as it looks like we'll see Freddie Smith in the game at quarterback. He'll keep the ball himself, and he's going to be taken down. Looked like maybe they could have called the horse collar there, but they stop his progress, and that should do it for this game. As there's only 15 seconds left on the clock, I believe Coach Harrison is calling his players back over to the near sideline. The final seconds are going to tick away. And Belle Chasse will win the inaugural Battle of the Boot, even though this is a series that's been played for a mighty long time. Now the Cardinal faithful come alive on the far side. And your final score from Port Sulphur, Belle Chasse 54, South Plaquemines 22. We'll take a quick break and come back to wrap it up and name our players of the week here on your Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week. And welcome back to Port Sulphur as we're here to wrap up your Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week. Belle Chasse in not necessarily, the score is very one-sided. The game was not quite that one-sided. Does come away with a 54-22 victory. And it's time to award our Plaquemines Prep Players of the Week. And there's going to be a common theme here for both sides. And we'll start with the losing team, the South Plaquemines Hurricanes. And there was one guy, for all the different scoring and whatnot that was going on, one guy was very important on both sides of the ball tonight for South Plaquemines.
Yeah, if you heard the band play the Tulane fight song, Roll Green Wave, you know the connection we're talking about. Sean Wilson, great recruit from Tulane University, and he's primed for a great season here at South Plaquemines. And on the other side of the ball, Tulane, once again, represented by Terry Anklod, and an outstanding player for Tulane in the future.
Yeah, Anklod ran a touchdown, threw a touchdown, had a 2-point conversion because he's the holder on the botched extra point. So great night all around. Like I said, good night to be Curtis Johnson. If you're watching this game, we might have to send him a copy of this one as his recruits really shining brightly tonight. So next week, again, we'll be back down here in Port Sulphur for the game between South Lafourche and South Plaquemines. That's going to do it for tonight. For Carl Johnson behind the camera, we got some bugs flying around in here. For the coach, Amos Cormier, I'm Jason Tonglet. Thank you for watching your Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week.